Nice.
I think it's also a matter of when you go B, the molly. Nowadays, everyone buys a smoke to prevent the molly, so an aid is a guaranteed way for you to do damage.
Happy doesn't last long in this round. Sixers lining up his smoke towards connector, undoubtedly. CT still playing ranges, and this smoke may come too late because there are already 2 CTs in the site. Perhaps it will allow them or help them to get into the B bomb site though. Bomb's about to get planted. 4 on 4. The T's trying to push the distance, but RPK stuck up top for too long. Took the device with him, however, down to the 3 on 3 now. XMS playing close to the trains. The kit is now with Dupree, so that's still in tow. Zipex on the high ground. XMS not expecting that. He's got 2 above him, but he still takes 1 down. And now it's KRB alone. He's got the smoke defuse, but he doesn't have the kit. Maybe, well, he pretty much needs to find a kit in order to win this round, but the T's not engaging with him. Oh, he's picked up the kit indeed, but the high ground is there. The smoke hasn't hit the spot, and he's going to get knifed as well. When do you... I've never seen you scream knife someone before. Or even try, but there it is. There it is.
First time for everything, James.
Indeed, there is, yeah.
He can burn up. Let's burn up. Come on, Scream.
Second round, AWP.
Auto sniper. Oh,
James Bardoff special.
disappointed now. Well, he's got a lot of money in the bank for his team. I like the Sixers on a Tech 9, and that Happy obviously is rolling with the Mac 10. Oh, that is a good start. Sixers Tech 9 out of play, and already you can see that the Deagles are dangerous, and a lot of damage tagging has been done here. RPK will take down 2 players. Device still alive with that Deagle. They're trying to cause problems, and he will cause additional problems. RPK is now dead. They're trying to push him down. He gets some good tags in, and there's a real chance here for Astralis to win this round.
They had to go after him in a way because if he's Ivy, they can't plant the bomb, essentially. With how the CTs are positioned, there's practically nowhere safe to plant it. But look at what it's cost them. They are both considerably tagged. Device took 2 people with him, and the bomb is on the floor. Life could hardly be worse. Astralis, remaining players both with Deagle. Scream is 1 shot away. Happy is just over 1. I think the most that's not a headshot would be 55 damage with the Deagle, so it's difficult times. Even if they pick up the bomb, what do they choose to do with it? 1 player spotted. Happy's got to be careful about a trade fragger though, but it seems he will hunt. In the meantime, Scream is no more. Happy's got the bomb, but now the CTs are repositioning, moving together, moving closer for a trade situation. Happy revealing his position, and now he's forced to run. But where would he go?
CT's playing this smart. He's forced to go for the plant here. No messing around, no baiting. Oh, tag down to 4. Just 1 more bullet to do it, and Kirby has himself an AK. What a round from Device. Of all players, you know, able to pick up those the first quick kill with the Deagle, and then that forced some desperation, just playing that position on Ali. So well, as you mentioned, they were forced to go very deep to try to kill him, and they were very exposed in doing so.
Good to see him not struggling on train like he did on Inferno. With a very...
Let it go, Yanko. Let it go.
I was going there as well.
Let it go.
Yanko got in there first.
So, Astralis equalized the score immediately. And ENVYUS decide to force right back into it. They have a decent buy, especially for train. Seems like nowadays teams win a lot of these rounds where they buy just Tech 9s and go for an auto rush, because with the mobility of the Tech 9s they can push through the smokes and so forth. Dupree is gonna play close ladder room. Will he have some action coming his way early on? Seems like ENVYUS want to go for a full-on B execute actually. 2 players there from Astralis. Zipex and Glaive. Glaive now going towards A just to throw a smoke. I think he's going to come back after that. No, actually.
Zipex's positioning, the way he's peeking ramp, well, the way he was, wouldn't make a sound either. You can move a reasonably fair distance without holding shift and not make a single step. FYI. Envy lining them all up.
Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed. Oh dear, oh dear.
Another push comes in. Glaze in a great spot. And free frag on Tappy. No trades are really possible here. And very, very calmly held by Astralis. Yanko, why is this so easy? Why?
I mean, the problem is that ENVYUS didn't show any presence towards mid or Ivy or anything pretty much. They were lining up their smokes for that B execute, then the perfect nade comes in, gets 1 kill. That is basically a tell for Astralis. They're setting up for the execute and allows everyone to rotate in and just mop up pretty much. And we have had to go for that execute way earlier for it to be more effective. Or just try and take some map control before. And
Well then,
blocked.
As you do.
it's an interesting situation. It's very interesting. No armor on these players. They could and should get cut to ribbons despite that kill. Although there's another Glock kill. I don't even know how to commentate that. 2 people in the smoke somewhere and somebody died. Moving swiftly on. The bomb is still in control. Okay, so there's Deagle in tow. And this is one of the more bizarre rounds I've seen in recent memory. But can it be salvaged by the Danes? That's the question.
Yeah, no helmets or Kevlar, so you would imagine there's a good chance. Ooh, does he? Surely Zipek saw that, even if he had 4-3. But both players missing that. That looked like even if he was using 4-3, I'm not sure if he is or not. I swear he would have seen that.
Yeah, I think he... But, well, obviously, if he had actually seen it, he would react to it, but...
That's on his screen, I think. But anyway...
Seems weird.
Does seem a bit weird. Perhaps I'm wrong. But he's got a good position, and you can see he's going to be able to get some good information, play the very long ranges, and... Ooh, just barely preventing the plant device. Very good timing. But the footsteps will give away Zipex just as the headshot comes in onto the device. So, very strange round one. Featuring 2 Glock kills against fully equipped players. Very, very peculiar.
That is an anomaly of a round, if ever I saw one. But
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was a very strange kill from RPK, but you wonder, is there really a reason for you to play close up when you know that they're going to be equal? They just forced you, just shut them down, they didn't get the bomb down. Why not just play it safe? And it all started from that, pretty much. But yeah, ENVYUS will take that one gladly. And now they have a proper gun round, AWP on 6er. Device is going to have some action early on towards Ivy. Not even a shoulder peek from SMS. Device goes for the repeat, gets a 2nd kill. Left only on 2 points of health, but that's all you need.
It almost looked like ENVYUS were going to try to do the run boost and then just gave up on it to obviously dodge the angle. And obviously
this is not working. Let's just give up and straight walk into an AWP.
And the cool thing too is that Device was expecting the run boost as well, because you can see where his crosshair placement was, but he could flick either way. When speaking of which, we've got Sixer taking a frag with the AWP onto Glaive, but it's just Scream left now, and he will be eliminated. Device has the position. Great round from Device. Just obviously, ENVYUS did serve themselves up in some manner, but he connected those shots. And that's going to put Astralis onto 3 rounds. ENVYUS on 2.
And it's very interesting what you pointed out, how Device was kind of expecting the run boost, so I think that's why his crosshair was positioned in the way it was. And one of the good examples of how FaZe counters them is Alu. Sometimes when he has a good spawn, he just straight off like runs and then dry peeks into that corner and kind of pre-fires to an extent, knowing that Device's crosshair is going to be kind of too tough, and you're not going to expect that, as we see ENVYUS get slaughtered by...
Yeah,
that's something like that usually is not like a smart play, you know, it's not a fundamental play. It's very, very risky, but...
You're playing off the meta, basically, and that's something that pro players can afford to do, whereas only if they have good fundamentals as well, and choose the moment, right? You can't just rely on plays within the meta, but...
So Astralis now with a strong economy as well. We see Device going for that upper B pick. See if we can find an opening.
not quite. Tags, but he gets away with it. 2 players in B at the start of this round, which Envy will know because of the grenade as well. Again, we have seen some teams go for fast plays recently, although it is still rare, into the B bomb site, and often ends in catastrophe for the T's. interestingly, which is perhaps why CT sides get away with a 4-1 set up at the beginning of rounds of trade. 1 minute on the clock, 3 players towards Ivy for Envy. And again, Astralis, one of the better teams at holding on to utility smokes and such. They can still delay things here for the T side. I don't know if any of those smokes are near Ivy though. They could really do with one at the moment. Oh, again, the Molotov, the flames obscuring the vision for Device. Otherwise, surely he gets a kill there, but he doesn't.
Kirby on top of the train though, and he's going to be able to equalize in some part as the push comes in. Trey's there though, but Dupree also playing up in the close in the yard is going to be able to refrag. Now it's just 2 versus 2. The T's are very weak, but it's down to just Dupree and Happy to try to. Oh my goodness! Dupree missing that. He just required just one good connection. That's all he needed, but just whiffed the entire spray. You're not often going to see that, and that's going to allow the 3rd round for ENVYUS.
Hate to see it, don't you? But yeah, great utility, great use of utility from Astralis throughout that round, buying a lot of time with the Molotovs. Device punished for peeking over one, and in the end, Dupree did have the advantage. He knew where the bomb was, he knew where Happy was, but just couldn't connect with his spray. Glaive going for the same peak that we saw from Device in the previous round, and he does manage to find the kill, interestingly enough. Pushes through the smoke, so a reset round for Envy. They're already a man down. Device with the 2nd op towards Ivy. Doesn't get the kill on XMS. Seems like they are going to put pressure towards Ivy again.
Oh, now the no-scope is there. Scream just about finishing things off, but again, time is being bought. Kiabi's going to get instantly traded by Dupree as he goes down, and the CTs retain a man advantage. But things have got weird here multiple times now on the A side, and it might just happen again. Scream going for the 1-taps, but he's going to get his own bell run. Now the CT's popping out all over the map and making things really hard for Envy to clean out this round. Scream carrying the bomb, but he can't get a spray. Moving, crab walk. They make things take longer, and eventually he'll get finished off. But it was an expensive round for Astralis as well. Scrappy rounds between these two teams.
Expensive, but a round nonetheless. Very important, considering Envy won the previous round. Their money bonus gets reset now, and you can see Astralis WMP, double M4, and an AWP on Device. On the other side, we see only pistols, 3 Kevlars, and a flash on Scream and Sixer.
So what's the plan
It's
here?
very strange. It seems like some of the players forced, other players didn't. They won't have enough money to buy in the next round, so not really sure why that happened. Some of the players even had to go back and buy armor, so some miscommunication going on there.
Kirby with some good information on the yard. His teammates will clean that up presently, and it will just be the run and gun, really. That's the game plan for ENVYUS at this point, and they will fall. Being shot down by the well-equipped Astralis players. That said, they have picked up a couple kills here. But that might be all they are going to get, and indeed that would be the case. 6-3, the pattern continues. For every 1 round ENVYUS get, Astralis get 2.
I think that round was the case of Happy wanting the team to eco, but someone already forced. And then he realized, okay, now our next round we're not going to have money anyway, so let's all just buy. And you can see what they get is 2 like half buy rounds, which are awful. As we see Device flashing in Kirby, and that's it. Nothing's going to happen.
Well, I could have said that, Yanko, but you took it away from me. I was geared up to say that as well.
I wasn't really sure.
You threw it and you took it back. How can you do that?
So
I thought we had trust, Yanko, but now that's been called into question. Sixer has made his way into the A-bomb site, but again, there are some pistols. He's looking for an opportunist 1-tap at extremely close range, forced by the Molotov, and the Molotov is where he'll lie, although he was killed by a pistol after all. That was unfortunate for RPK. Did the best he could with not much.
I can't believe you did this, Yanko. We broke bread last night together when you arrived. Oh, well, crabs. We broke crabs together.
No crabs.
We
And
broke
prawns.
crabs. We had some seafood in bags. It's good times. It's good times.
Well, right now,
Dan's done talking.
right now it does look like ENVYUS is the crab and Astralis is the crab cracker.
It's James
Astralis is
cracking the
James,
crab.
just wrecking the crab. But it's another full gun round for ENVYUS. Let's see what they have in store now. Looks like they're going for the same default again, trying to put pressure towards Ivy, Glaive in that close-up spot. The server, it's where Cold Zero likes to play a lot, and like Kirby's getting boosted up. Device gets the kill on RPK towards B. Kirby doesn't see XMS sneaking below him. Won't catch Sixer either, or he does. Yes, that's it.
Very awkward.
It was too awkward for me to say anything.
The T's are all over the A site now. This is somewhat weird, although everything turns around literally as Kirby turns around and gets the second last kill. Now down to the 1v1. AK collected by Sixer, and he is taking a different approach. From that position that Zipex is in, I don't think he will have heard Sixer rotating, but he's going to reposition himself. Yeah, he has no idea what's going on at the moment, and he may find himself completely exposed in the wrong directions. Oh, that was really awkward. Zipex lucky to get away with that one. 35 seconds. Time is not a massive pressure at the moment. There's only so much time Zipex can waste. There's no idea what's safe now. The flashbang will be avoided. Sixer has not given any sound cues. And another round will be rescued for Envy.
Everyone dying though, just repeatedly, there's everyone just dying. And that means that the money is going to be really weird. And all the pressure's on ENVYUS just not to get reset again. Because that is very well what could happen. And they're going to go for the 2 Tech 9s, 3 AKs. So they're likely going to do an outside rush, I'd imagine. We'll have to see what they choose, but typically that's what you would expect with this sort of a buy. 3 AKs is enough firepower on those long ranges. The 2 Tech 9s can gain you a lot of ground very quickly. That said, I guess at this point it's more likely to be B. They don't have anybody in positions to throw nades on A. So the question is, how much damage can Device get out of this play? Oh, spots 2 or 3 there, including the bomb, I think. So you can see the immediate rotation from the CTs.
Yeah, it's like gravity dragging them down into the B bomb site. Device taking some pot shots as the flashbang comes in. And again, the T's are trying to close distance on the high ground, but now they're starting to get taken down. Bomb's been planted. Worst case scenario ticked off for Envy, but really they need some more rounds against It's a scrappy half so far, but the advantages continue for Astralis. Screen falling to the flames, leaving Happy on the high ground of the Molotov, but he's against 4 and he's got a smoke as well. The smoke's already there. Preemptive smoke from the CT side. They will flush Happy out. What can he even do? I mean, he doesn't have that much to lose. It's a 10-second defuse as well. Only Kiabi with a kit. Happy maybe not believing that the bomb's being defused, but it is. And there is Happy finished off. So an 8th round on the board for Astralis.
Love how Astralis played that one. As soon as Device got the information, he makes a call. They're expecting a rush anyway, and he falls all the way back. So yeah, they just allow them to have the plant, but then they know they're just going to crush the retake, and they won't lose any money themselves, really. So it's looking pretty consistent. I mean, there's been some weird rounds, but Astralis are consistently coming out the top here. Nice bait there with the initial jump across, but it's still not going to be good enough to get anything done with just these mere pistols. That said, RPK will pick up 1 frag, but that's going to be it. The round is pretty much done. Happy's the only guy left alive here. Does get delayed. He wanted to peek in earlier, but as you can see, that Molotov timing was denied him.
9-4. So it seems the CT side has stabilized for Astralis at this point. 2 rounds remain, and Envy will take a timeout to discuss the way forward in these final rounds.
Maybe they're talking about Biscashi, James.
Maybe they are talking. I was watching some Biscashi actually.
Really?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Biscashi is Yanko.
Oh.
Okay. Maybe we shouldn't open that kind of worms, James.
We'll tell you perhaps after the game. We'll fill you in on Buscachi. That's what you missed out. What are the many things you missed out on while you were away working for the Germans?
I
Jumping
didn't
out of
know you
place.
have time to watch things besides 24J.
I don't anymore. I don't anymore. Soldering keyboards and watching 24. When you realise that every series is 24 episodes, then you know that you are giving up on life for a while. No fast play towards B from Envy. Indeed, it seems a very fast play towards A. Scream back to normal, it seems, with the nice burst onto Dupree in the A site. But what can the T's do to capitalise on this? It's pretty much Scream on his own at the moment. I think there may be a player moving through main. Indeed, that's RPK. There's another tap from Scream. Trying to catch up from his score in the previous map. But is it enough for Astralis to take this round?
Yeah, they got such forward positions, and because the kills came so quickly, they have ample coverage. So they're making it really difficult for Astralis right now, or Scream is making it really difficult for them. Chances are starting to dwindle quite significantly. Can't even get past the initial choke points. Device finding a way out of this one, perhaps. Some damage still to be done, though. The early position is obviously very good for him to be able to take a shot, fall back, take a shot, fall back. So he can try to see what he can get done. Zipex also on connector in a position to catch any T's who get overly confident. And there it is. One extra kill for Astralis.
Maybe collects the AK off.
Oh, nice by a Device there. Catching Happy in a timely manner. That's 2 additional kills at the end of the round, so that's something that will be pretty nice. I don't know if that's going to impact things to the last round anyway.
It definitely is. Loads of players on $3,500, so...
Yeah, also for Astralis, a couple of players were low on cash, so the fact that Device and Zipex are able to drop 2 guns helps a lot. Envy on the other side, pretty healthy buy, only XMS is missing a couple of nades, but no big deal.
But what if those nades make a difference, Genko? Only time will tell. Scream going back into Sentry mode, like Starlight rolling on wheels through the map, delivering some kills. But this time he won't be charging around the A site behind that first frag. Different approach in the last round of the first half from Envy. Can they get that number 6 on the board? Zipex in B on his own, but he's moving back towards connector, so it seems the team will try to play as a unit as much as they can. In fact, he's all the way in A now. They are fully committed to A. It's like a man and a wife in a marriage, or 2 people in a marriage these days, in fairness. Fully committed.
Device playing really far back again. You know, just happy to let the B1 site go as long as they can keep connector control, as long as they can keep players in the back of the yard towards CT spawn. Look at the coverage they have here, able to take all the fights together. They have all these long avenues to throw their nades down. Looking very comfortable. Bombers planted is ticking away, but they have to get the kills, these envious players. Xmas sitting on the bomb sites. The last grenades have been thrown. Happy holding on to the Molotov there. There is no smoke to extinguish it. Should he throw it, that is a problem. That is a big problem. That's at least dead now. So never mind. No problem anymore. The Molotov has gone. It's on to XMS. And Scream waiting patiently on the bomb train, looking for these aggressive CT players. Just Kirby left now as he wraps around the back of the train. There's one. Still has to find XMS. He's very healthy, playing the time. Great job by XMS. He'll finish off Kirby. And that's a 6-round first half for ENVYUS. That's a pretty decent start for them.
Yes, all things considering, I mean, you see the scoreboard and you see that every single time they would win a round, they would get reset, lose the next round, which, I mean, they themselves are to blame to an extent, winning the pistol round, not being able to convert those anti-ecos, but yeah, I think this is something they can be okay with. Probably would have been satisfied with a bit more, but the pistol round is going to carry a lot of weight here. You can see no smokes on Astralis. Instead, oh, actually there is a smoke. I'm blind. There is a smoke and a Molotov, so it does look like a good old B execute.
Connect to smoke, perhaps. Connect or smoke. Will it be over the top though, or will it be down the bottom? CT's on the high grounds. It's Happy saying hello. Ooh, it is not a connect to smoke after all. So let's see if one of the T's manages to lurk in that smoke, or what they will choose to do. Device is peppering for the time being, and Happy's will willfully stand behind that smoke until he gets taken down. So advantages to be had for the T side as CT's pilgrimage through the connector passage. Again, just using the range, checking the corridors between the trains as CTs continue to close the distance. A flank coming in from Dubry towards the connector position. Can he get there fast enough, however?
Looks like he might be able to actually in there quite quickly. Kirby wins his battle and oh wow, the defuse was caught just in time there. ENVYUS stealing that one away. I don't think they that just really plays into how a lot of the rounds have been going, I think. It's another round where you don't expect them to be able to make it happen, but somehow someone sneaks in there, sticks the defuse. Astralis winning all their battles, but just not realizing in time. Interesting situation. ENVYUS on 7 rounds now. Astralis forcing it up. And they have 3 players left alive, obviously, with the Kevlar, so quite cool to see them going for this.
We've got a push, I think, from RPK in upper B. But he's going to have a friend in Fix coming to say hello. Hello. Bonjour. I feel like I'm reading a children's story, but bonjour, says Zipex in upper B. Well then, this anti-force buy round has not quite gone as expected. I think it's fair to say.
It's all about making the individual plays, right? Kirby had good spawn, was just waiting for someone to push towards ladder. He catches Scream, has the advantage, AK over UMP, if you can call that an advantage these days. And after that, Astralis just holding. Get the kill on RPK as well now. 5v3 situation, you can see how they approach it. Methodically using their utility towards the upper bomb site. It even might be a fake. It will be. You can see how Happy has to move 3v5. He can't take the risk of waiting for the fake. Gets caught out. Kirby gets the kill. 4v2. Bomb going down right now. XMS gets the 1 kill. They don't have a kit. An M4 and a UMP and the forward position for Zipex, so this is going to be a no-go for ENVYUS. Sixer, if he can get his hands on a better gun, he might go for that.
I really like that they chose B and in the way that they did it, because I feel as though B is, again, we saw it exampled very well by Astralis. If you're going to attack B and the CTs you haven't burned their utility, they have, an orb, they have 4 rifles and so on, they can just fall back, let you have the site, and then they can use the grenades to get themselves back onto the bomb site. It's a much less defensible bomb site than A, but if you have a man advantage and there's no utility on those CTs, suddenly B becomes much more winnable most of the time. So I do like that choice.
Also the fact that they were 5v3 and fake Tay doesn't hurt.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. It's a really nice round.
But again, ENVYUS win the pistol round, lose the second round. That's no good. And Astralis now brute forcing their way towards the outer bomb site. They etonate to free out first, gets the kill onto Scream, pushes towards the bomb site. XMS has a lot of work to do. He gets mollied out, but gets the kill on Dupree. And a second one on Glaive, traded by Device, 3v3 situation. No one on the flank from ladder for ENVYUS. And now Astralis is probably gonna slow things down. Wait for ENVYUS to overextend themselves. Sixer is on the flank, but he is running a lot. I'm not sure if Kirby is able to hear him from that position.
Yeah, I was wondering myself, but it doesn't appear so. And it's funny, I think Astralis may have been slowed down by the question mark of Pop Dog, but in fact it's main, which, well actually that's a good plant position, because it's hard for it to be stopped from main, but RPK has managed to creep and he can run distraction. However, positioning is superior. Now Happy's left alone. Don't run, Happy. You know how he likes to just run around in these situations. And there we go. He's going for it. In fairness, he doesn't have a kit, but his position will be revealed and he'll get shot. He'll get shot in the head.
And he did make a sound cue anyway, jumping down the ladder.
Yeah, I think that that's a great play from Astralis, and that's something that you can utilize a lot. Like you go for a rush, basically, a very, very fast push, and after the initial trades, you just stop and hold after you like clear out the site, and you can minimize the points of contact to like 2 or 3 different directions, because teams get, and players especially get a bit overexcited, you know, when there's a lot of fast trades and you know that they're out in the yard and you think, okay, now I'm going to run through the smoke and I'm going to catch someone off guard because there's a lot of commotion going around. But actually that's where you get punished for it, because the other team is just, they had just decided to stop, to hold those positions, wait for you to try and make that play, and the round just falls apart for you there.
Interesting flashbang strat. Throw the flash and then jump down the ladder. I like it. Anti-eco round from Astralis. They're going to be in a good position with 12 rounds on the board, should they not get wrecked by 3 USPs.
Do you know why people throw that flash now, James?
Why?
Because the underhand sound cue gives it away. Like, the player, the CT just turns, waits for it to pop, and then goes. And this way, can't really turn from it, get no sound cue. And I mean, if you don't turn from it, you're really reliant on like hitting a good timing. Otherwise, you might just be looking at blind and then dying to a player, or just rely on getting the kill blind.
So quickly, what do you think about the sound cues? Because some players were complaining about the underhand sound cue, but then there's the underhand flash wasn't always in the game in the first place. It was always just the long flashes.
Yeah, that's the thing I saw. I think it was actually Glaive who was talking about it on Twitter.
I think NBK's complained about it as well, at least the right-click ones.
Yeah, I think the problem is it can be a bit too overpowered if there's no sound cue, because it can pop almost immediately, right? Then again, you can just put the sound cue on all of them, but that gets tricky if you're doing like a smoke execute and you just hear all the smokes going, for example, on B on Inferno. Just hear like three sound cues at the same time, you can tell there's 3 players.
Yeah, I kind of like the underhand one, because it's pretty overpowered otherwise.
You like overpower things?
It's the overpower things are good, but I don't think that's the kind of overpower that you want. But that said, if we move back into the focus on the match now, we've got the 2 players already dying for Astralis. You can see XMS getting both of the kills with the FAMAS. Gun you don't see as often these days. Now you got the UMPs in there, but obviously they offer a better fragging potential on range compared to UMPs. So, and there's a lot of ranges to deal with on this map. And you can see Device trying to stick his neck out there, coming through alley, but there's just too many players and too many positions here. And Astralis don't really have much to work with at this point.
2 players, they literally don't have much to work with, as almost everyone is dead. And every grenade they throw gives more information to ENVYUS to their positioning. Flank is in position, doesn't need to push all the way through though, because ENVY's got the numbers to contain on A. And worst case scenario, if it goes up the ladder, then the CTs are there as well. And indeed, a cleanup is here for ENVY. 4 players surviving in that round, much needed for the CT side. Astralis straight back on the buy. Device with the AWP. Defect hasn't picked up a gun just yet, but no doubt it'll be an AK. Don't see many Astralis players messing around with the AUG or the Krieg. Krieg at $3,000. Do like the odd Krieg buy myself. Kelby and Device both on 24 frags. They're really up there in this game, but they've got 4 more rounds to win.
So starting things off slow. A default for Astralis. Light alley pressure. The bomb is there at the moment. I think Device is there, you know, looking for a kill. Indeed. He's got Dupree with him. That's a deep smoke here. Starts to allow them to push forwards. Counter grenades queued for the CTs as a response. And Astralis, after showing that presence on alley, they will back away. Looks like they are thinking of going for a play into the A site here. They need to do a lot against this Pop Dog setup. 2 players on Pop Dog is very hard to deal with. Scream's looking for it. He's hungry.
He wants to punish the reload, I think. Easier said than done from that angle. That's why it's nice when you play close on cash and one person's spraying through the roller shutter, and then you can just punish it for it as the reload is charged free bottle style. 4-on-4 as the Ts look to breach the A site. Ladder room has been taken, and there's 20 seconds on the clock here, so not much time for Astralis to really consider their options. Happy in a position to try and stop the bomb plant from going down, but at what cost? No cost, apparently. Dupree, and that's going to make things really hard. 10 seconds, that bomb has to go down. Happy still standing on the site. He's got a teammate in connector as well to protect that bomb, and this is going to fall apart for Astralis in the worst possible fashion. Timeouts. Device picking his orb back up, at least there's that.
Yeah, that was. I have to say, I do like how Astralis were playing the Pop Doggo area, of course. There's two players there. They put the Molotov down to get rid of one player. Then they had like a follow-up play where they drop into the Molotov as it's still active, but for like one tick, to try to get the element of surprise and also make sure they're only against one player there. So that's cool. I like that. That was a cool touch. Good performance from Happy though on the bomb site. Charles looking to speed things up now. Ooh, Device in trouble. Called out by Scream. Oh, okay, there it is. Turns around, does Scream. Doesn't catch, or rather, Kirby doesn't catch the frag in time. Scream with an AWP. Don't see it too often. But here he is.
Scream with them upgrades.
The AWP is the ultimate one-tap gun, James.
I love when an eco round is crushed immediately. They kill so many players pretty quickly that it's just like, well, at this point, instead of, trying to get a cheeky frag for a minute and a half, it's just, well, there's 2 of us left, so there's not much we can do really, apart from just walk out and die. Now, we find ourselves at 12-10. Astralis back on the bye. Envy with the second AWP. Happy and Sixer will be wielding them. Scream's had his fun. And now he's back to the M4. RPK with the AK.
I wonder if we'll see a very fast round now from Astralis. I think, obviously, they don't know 100% that there's double AWPs. I don't think yet. And with the 5 AKs and the utility as it is right now, they can absolutely run a fast play with these smokes, some set smokes. That's a great way to start things off. Scream dead immediately. This is a problem, actually, because the AWPers will have, obviously, that one less rifler to help support them. And they're not as mobile as the rifles. Astralis set up for the splits onto the A site. Zipex is watching their back in case there's a push on inner as a response from the CTs. But it feels as though the CTs of ENVYUS want to be passive. They do have the double AWPs after all. So Astralis wait for their timing. And then it's time for those smokes. The bomb plant, and in their eyes, that's the game plan to win the rounds.
Got the angle towards main already from the pop. And here come a flurry of grenades. So it's the late game for Astralis. Opening kills are strong, leaving RPK and Happy around the B bomb site. Still heading towards A. Happy with an early kill there, but how many more will commit to Envy for this retake? Not sure if he's supposed to prepare. No, there's a smoke down. Okay, well, now is it on? Happy with completely random frags, but he's only got 4 bullets in the magazine. And he's alone. That's the 3rd kill for Happy. Does he go for the ace? Does he go to win the round? He's got a kit. But surely it's too late. Oh dearie me. Looking for the snap. So, some surprising damage done, all things considered. Essentially a 2 versus 5. But indeed it is Astralis going to 13 rounds.
Barely surviving.
That's massive. Look at the damage he's done to their economy.
And he's kept the AWP too, so that's a lot of very good work from Happy. Again, you have to look at Astralis, how they played their one-man advantage. They cut noise for a very long time. Made sure that they weren't being flanked, that no information was gained by ENVYUS, and if so, they could punish it. Then they go for the quick play with the smokes. It's the basics. Oh my god, that's disgusting from XMS. James, he has the bomb and an AK.
And yeah, he's on fire and forced into the flames. So perhaps this can be rescued by Astralis. Happy, the LWP from the previous round, bouncing around the map, but indeed it's not Super Mario Brothers. RPK and Sixer remain. He's got himself an AK. I think he's right behind Zepex actually. Zepex just made his way through Pop and then RPK just around the corner, but the bomb has been retrieved, rotated, and will soon be planted.
What the hell happened to Sixer that round? He was on a very, very fast flank from Ivy, and I don't know if he just decided to go B-apps, like to go halls instead of come out team mid. He could have gotten like 2 kills, most likely, easy. But I don't know if he was perhaps spotted, and that's why he went the other way, but yeah. I don't think this is the first time we even see XMS do this. I think we saw him do exactly this on Train before.
That second one was pretty sweet.
But yeah, the ENVYUS had a great chance to win that round, but Astralis recovers admirably.
Happy's picked up the AWP again. He's naked this time. Seeing a lot of AD around that position. Trying to avoid those flashbangs. Trying to get information.
The funny thing is though, like Dace highlighted when he was here, that pop flash. It's so common now that people wait for the pop flash and then peek and pre-fire with the AWP. As it's so, the timing is so tight usually. Ooh, chance for Happy there. He's going to whiff, unfortunately. The second one will connect. Oh, Happy going for some crazy shots there. It is thrown off the top of the train. And it's now just Scream and XMS on the retake. Dupree lurks close though. That smoke is going to make life very annoying for Scream. He's trying to get out of the connector. And Dupree's just sitting in there. Just sitting there waiting patiently. And again, that's good. He doesn't have to go for the frags. They can play the time. Dupree finds himself in a great position. Easy frag onto Scream. Now just XMS left. He knows he has to worry now about the front as well as the flank. And there's just no time. No kits, no time. It's all about damage. And that's 15 rounds for Astralis. The 10 of ENVYUS.
The money in a really crappy spot as well. 2,500 for the CTs. 5-7 CZ is going to be out again. No UMPs in this round, interestingly. Pure pistols and tons of grenades. So let's see what they can do with what they've chosen to buy. Two-man push outside of B, and indeed the CZ coming in. CZ really good in tight spots on maps such as Train and Inferno. XMS picking up an upgrade. How do Astralis stop the bleeding now? They've lost 2 players very early on. They've lost 1 gun. Dupree around Ivy on his own. Can't afford to overextend. Although risks must be taken at this point.
Yeah, looking towards Device with that AWP to try to do something. He's going to try to take a peek, I think, down the ramp. Here it is. Oh, the flick shot does not connect. Although Kirby's got his back. Somehow RPK unable to find the frag onto Device. He's standing on top of the train. And really, he should have made that frag. If he makes that frag, the round's basically over. But at this point, Astralis have a bomb down. They have a man watching the flank for that flank, which is coming from Pop. They actually have a decent chance here. They've got an amount of grenades to use as well. See Device there smoking. He's got flashes. There's Molotov. Flash on Dupree as well. Good peak timing from Kirby. 3 versus 3 now as Kirby will not stop. The massacre continues. And it looks as though that might be all she wrote. Scream coming in for the last desperation play. The Hail Mary. The AWP picked up. The no-scope missed as he searches so desperately for these players. But it's all for naught. 16-10. ENVYUS will be top.